Welcome to another pregame chat. I'm your host, Magic, and we're joined today by Mountain Home Bomber head coach Steve Airy. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey, nice to meet you, Mike.
Well, I'm honored to have you on. I know that it was real short notice, but definitely appreciate you making time to be with us today. Let's get right into things and talk about the season is underway. No doubt about that. You've had your one game already this year. Unfortunately, Mountain Home came up on the short end. What what are some of the things that you and your team and assistants learned from that game that you can take into your next matchup?
Well, one of the things we found out is we didn't play on defense. So obviously, we probably got the wrong guys on the field. So I don't think it was schematically anything that's really wrong. It's just we kind of had some injuries and stuff, and we were feeling our way through that, and we didn't run very well on the back end. We didn't tackle very well as a defense, and we've done some changing up, and we hope our defense is better this week. Um, Offense wasn't too bad. Fight was really good. We hung in there. We made it a game. We just got to play better defense at this point.
Well, you've got about 15 returning starters, if I remember correctly, close
Mhm.
to that number. Are some of those playing unfamiliar positions for you this year?
Well, we've had a few injuries. So of those 15 starters, got a few that didn't play, did not come back out. Um, have a few that had surgery in the off season. They're not quite up to snuff. Um, we're just feeling our way out. It's not the 15 solid and the 15 starters strong that I had hoped would be back. It's
Hmm.
it's been depleted a little bit, but I'm gonna turn on those lights. We're gonna go anyway.
Well, you're making the trip to Harrison tomorrow night. Who's
Mhm.
going to be leading that offense under the center?
Well, we got Brady Barnett at quarterback, and
Right. Yeah.
Brady's a dual threat guy and very athletic. He's already committed to Harding, and he's an athlete and he can make some stuff happen. We hope he puts on a show.
Well, he started quarterbacking last year, about halfway through the season, if I recall.
Hmm.
Has that initial shock of being thrust into the starter's role worn off since he's had the off season to prepare for starting this year?
He's embraced the starter role. He's embraced the leadership role. Um, he's doing everything right. He's doing everything right. And we're fortunate that Aid is calling the signals and running the show.
Now, defensively, you've got some guys that you mentioned are being moved around. What about that monster defensive end?
Robert Dover, hey, he's still a monster. I ain't kidding. He's uh he's just special. He's really really athletic. He plays everything. He's three-sport athlete. I get some weight on him. He would really be a monster. But any college coaches see this, you need to look at this guy.
Has there
Never,
been any thoughts about putting him in the backfield?
you know, you think about getting him the ball because he can run,
Right. Yeah.
and you think about putting him at Mike linebacker so nobody can run away from him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you want to use that guy for. You want to put him at tight end because he's going to wear somebody out.
Hmm.
He's just so valuable and such a great kid.
And there's something to be said about playing too much. You can't expect him to go the full 60 minutes.
No, you want a guy like that to play at a high level because he's different than everybody else on the field.
Mhm. What
So,
about the rest of his defensive mates there, linebacker especially? How's that looking for you this year?
well, we had one linebacker that started for 2 years. He didn't come back out this year, but
Mm.
we got a linebacker course, not what it was. So hey, we're putting it together. It's kind of like I said right in the beginning. It was we got thrown in the fire last week. We didn't have anything to put out the fire. So anyway, we're shuffling things around.
Well, it happens. What do you guys do as coaches to try to get those kids refocused and help them understand that it is, in fact, just one game and they've got a lot more football season in front of them?
Well, the one thing we did, we was in the game. Uh, we just got we I have to do a better job of preparation. My coaches have to do a better job of coaching, and our players have to do a better job of film prep and receiving. So we're going to put the blame on everybody. We're all going to make a commitment to get better this week, and hopefully we go into Harrison with a little better football team than we had last week.
Well, you're making about an hour drive to Harrison. Familiar territory for you guys. It's become an annual matchup. What about fan support? Making that hour drive, how's that looking for you?
That's the shortest drive of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and our fans are going to travel well. It's not like we're 15 miles apart, but we're
Right.
close enough. We're close enough. It's a personal thing. As far as the rivalry goes, they have owned that. So I don't even know if you call it a rivalry, but it's bad blood. It's personal. A lot of talk. We don't like each other. It's all good. That's what makes it interesting.
Exactly. And, it has been, I think, 10 years since Mountain Home has been on top in that matchup. Now, last year, y'all were close. I believe it was one score different in tying that ball game up. It looks like you guys may have a real good opportunity this year. What's it going to take for Mountain Home to make that drive back with a bus full of happy players?
The one thing that's kind of snake bit us the last 2 years is turnovers. I mean, we've handed ball games away the last 2 times we played them, and they'll probably say, Coach Wells will probably say, well, we didn't play very well either. But we have to put together a good game, not just a good game plan. We got to be solid, offense, defense, special teams, and win the turnover battle. We continue to lose that. We got to be better in the red zone at special situations, better on third down, offensively and defensively. And
Yeah,
we're going to have to come in and play a really good game.
well, you're in that 6A West. Very tough conference. You look at some of the teams up and down, and anybody can take it. Honestly, it looks like it's there for the taking. Who are some of the teams in that conference that you have to beat in order to challenge for that number 1 spot in that conference crown?
Well, I think everybody would agree that Greenwood, PA, Little Rock Christian, and probably Lake Hamilton are the big 4. And everybody else is probably considered the bottom feeders. But you got to knock off 1 or 2 of those guys to even be in the hunt, because I think there's a good chance that they could knock off each other a little bit as well.
Exactly. Yep. And have some of those teams with 2 losses. The top 4, as you mentioned, which would open it up for somebody that may not have been considered early on in the season to be a contender for that, conference title. So, well, Coach, is there anything else you want to mention before we make a wrap?
No. It's nice to meet you, Mike, and thanks for including me. We don't get included in everything around here. We're kind of off the grid.
Well, I tell you, we'll make a point to get back with you sometime this season and catch up and see how those Bombers are doing.
I hope they're doing good, Mike. I hope we got something to brag about.
Amen. Well, good luck to you, Coach, and we'll talk to you again.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.